In this video, I'm going to show you how to make viral social media content from any thought you have using just your voice. And everything you generate lands in a really easy to access table that you can look through, you can review, you can amend with relevant captions and hashtags, including an image that you can then approve. And once you hit post, it goes live automatically. This whole process is automated after the voice note, and it can post to LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, literally whatever platform that you would like. And as always, every automation I do is available down below in the school community. So you just come down here, click more, click import blueprint, choose the file, and then click save, and it will auto-populate automatically. And there's also exclusive content you can't find on the channel down there. Now, I'm gonna show you exactly how this works briefly. I'm gonna tell you what you need to set it up, how much it costs to run, and then we're going to set it up together step by step so you can do this exact same thing yourself and get running with this incredible automation. Now to start, we need a trigger. I'm going to show you how to do it with a Slack recording. You can also do it with your phone on like voice notes. It could be anything recording audio, but I'll show you exactly how it works. So I'm going to start by recording an audio clip, and literally you don't need to type a single sentence in this entire automation. So let's check it out, okay? So I'm thinking about, Dogecoin and the state of cryptocurrency. I'd like to have an article, a viral social media post talking about Dogecoin and what the future of crypto looks like. I don't know, and maybe in the next 12 months horizon, something like that. Done. So that's our trigger. I'm out, I'm having a walk, I'm having a coffee, and I just recorded something. So then we hit run once. What's happened? Slack has found it, got the file, then it's getting transcribed by Whisper, which will bring it in, and basically just like everything we said will appear there. Then what happens? We get a Perplexity primer prompt. It then goes to Perplexity to find our latest articles on the topic we're talking about. So we've got what we said, plus some research from an internet search engine powered by AI. We've got viral posts. It's created a bespoke, specific post there for Instagram in this case. Then we've got an image primer to help us create a good prompt for an image. Then we've got our cool Instagram image generator bot in the background. And then it's created a record in a table. So if I load up this table, we should see a full post for Instagram, and we should see a link to an image. So let's head over there and check now. So I'm loading it up, and look at this, guys. Is Dogecoin popping for a moon landing? Hashtag crypto trends, hashtag Dogecoin. Could the Dogecoin frenzy be reviving up for another massive bull run? We read through, look at this, guys. And this has been trying to all of our posts and stuff, and the agents down below in the community, but look at this end here, right? What are your thoughts on Dogecoin's trajectory, bull run or bust? Down off below. We're getting engaging CTAs. This is insane. So if I come down and click the photo, what image have we got? We've got Dogecoin, and by the way, I specified this style, but look at this, guys. Dogecoin's popping out. So let's say that we're looking at this, and we think, guys, I think this is amazing. I want to post this. What would we do? Well, we'd say, I like that. I like the image. It's decent. We're gonna come here to post, right? And what you'll notice is the post or deny. So just for I'm going to show you how this works, right? I couldn't come through to my page here. This is like an MMO podcast I started with my friend recently. And yeah, I'm gonna use this as an example. So as you can see, there's nothing on this page about Dogecoin, right? Now, before I click post, I'll briefly show you what's happening, okay? Look at this. This is the full thing, right? Now look, let me run this once. What's happening? Nothing. I run this again, nothing. I run this again, nothing. Why am I showing you that? Because this is super, super robust, okay? I come through, I said, you know what? I think we should post it. I'm gonna hit post. I come back over. I hit run once. It's passed a check. It's posting for Instagram. This check is great, by the way. This check just to see, hey, has it been approved? And if it has, it will allow it to push through. Now, this is for Instagram, but guys, this could be for any platform that you like, LinkedIn, and lots of different things. So this is post. So if this has worked, ladies and gentlemen, when I load up Instagram right now, we should see the Dogecoin post, and we should see the image. So let's go over to the page. Let's refresh it. And do we see it? Would you believe it? It's appeared. Almost by magic, except for it isn't magic, right? It's AI automation, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can build this yourself. And to be honest with you guys, I just think this is amazing because it's completely new modality, just speaking to your phone. Because how lazy we get, right? We don't want to text anymore. We just speak and magic happens. So I'm so excited to show you this. To build this is exactly what you need. You need a trigger of some sort. I've gone with Slack just because you can use a voice message and it's very easy to do, but it could be anything. It could be voice notes on your phone. So we need something to trigger your audience. We need a triggering function. And think of this more conceptually so you can take your own spin on it and add and do whatever you like. This could be done for meeting notes or whatever. So first of all, we need a trigger. The second thing we need, you might have guessed it, is Make.com, right? Where we're building all this incredible no-code stuff. I'll put all the links down below for you. Outside of Make, you're gonna want access to Perplexity AI. It's completely free within the platform. You just need to buy some credits. And the reason that I've included Perplexity AI is because I kind of want to take our thoughts and I want to wash it with the latest data and insights. So you're getting your current musings, your thoughts, your ramblings, plus data. And if you're not sure how to set it up, I covered it in this video first. I'd encourage you to check that one out and then come back and join us on this video. And once that's set up, you're gonna need access to platform.openai.com. You no longer need to buy a ChatGPT Plus subscription. You can just buy API credits. And for the sake of the automation, you can just throw $5 in there, $5. I'm getting so American my slang now. Just throw $5 in there and then you can play around with it and see the automation work. And then finally, you're gonna wanna create an account in Airtable. Now, Airtable, I want you to think of is like Google Sheets on steroids. I've shown you Google Sheets automations before because a lot of people wanna keep it within the Google sphere, but Airtable is gonna blow your mind with how powerful this is. I'm gonna make it so simple for you to follow. So now we've done that, what is the cost? Your biggest cost drivers are gonna come from DALL-E, which is creating the images, and then also GPTs. Now, for some of these agents, you can use GPT 3.5, which is between 16 to 60 times cheaper. But just cutting straight to the chase for you guys, if you're doing 100 posts a month, this would cost you somewhere between $6 to $12 based on how many images and the models that you're using. Okay, so how do we build it? Well, I'm not gonna cheat and upload the automation. We're gonna build this one together, okay? So the trigger for this one is gonna be Slack, and then I'll show you how to do it with Google Drive if you prefer to use that instead. So let's have a look at it, okay? So what we're gonna look for here is watch private channel messages here, okay? You connect Slack, opens a new window, you basically sign in, and then you select to go. Private channel, you select the channel that you like, and then you click OK. And that's basically it. So we're gonna give this one a little test. So we right click on it, run this module only. And what's happened, has it found it? It has, excellent, perfect. Then what we need to do is so basically if this has found that something pops up in Slack, what we now need to say for, hey, there's been an audio file that's been dropped in Slack. What I want you to do is just go ahead and grab that audio file for me, please. So then what we do here, guys, is we just look for download file. So you found the file, what I'd like you to do is download it. And then what you'll see here is URL private download. You're gonna click on that and you're gonna come down on the left and you see it says files here, URL private download, just select that. And then you're done. And that's literally the whole process. So let's give this one a quick try right now to make sure that it works. Hey there, test, 1, 2, 3. Just wanna check that this works. Cool, that's posted. And then we'll just run this automation again. That's found it. And guess what, guys? The file's also been downloaded. That's great news. That's a wonderful start. So what do we do then? Well, now we've got the file, we have to transcribe it to get the text from it, okay? So this is, we're gonna look for ChatGPT. So what we're gonna look for is something called Whisper. There we go. And then here we're gonna go for create a transcription, translate an audio to text. Cool. And so we're gonna come over. And the wonderful thing about Whisper, guys, is that it just automatically brings the file in. And the only prompt I want you to give is just transcribe this word for word. And that's it. And the whole automation's already set up. And now we've got the text from it. So we'll run this whole thing again. And it's not work. Well, why does it not work? Well, because there was no audio, right? So we need to leave another audio message. Test, 1, 2, 3. I've recorded another test. Let's run it again. And if this works, we should get test, 1, 2, 3 as an output from Whisper. And let's have a look. Test, 1, 2, 3. Guys, how cool is that? And you can imagine applications with this, right? Imagine being in a meeting and you could just record it and all of a sudden things are happening off the back of it. It's incredible. Voice activation is so not touched on. And so I think this is going to be huge. Okay, so let's assess where we're at. We've now got the transcript. Now we want to wash this data with some research from Perplexity AI. But the problem statement is just saying something random Perplexity won't give us the best results. So what I want you to add is a primer. Now before that, we want to keep best practices and we want to name these things. So let's just add a quick name in here so we know where we're going, and we'll have a shush emoji for Whisper. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna add a ChatGPT module, and we're just gonna say, hey, what we'd like you to do is create a completion. Come over here. Model for this, guys, we only really need GPT 3.5 Turbo. Like I say, it's like 16x cheaper, and I wanna make sure you're saving as much money as possible. Then we come into add message, and then we pick the role, which is gonna be assistant. And then we've got the prompt that we need to give it, right? So what prompt are we gonna give it, this perplexity primer? Well, we're gonna give it the following prompt, and I think it's a good one to understand. So you're an AI agent tasked with creating a clear and concise prompt for Perplexity AI. All this agent's doing is just taking all our information and giving it the way that Perplexity is best going to understand. Your job is to analyze the transcript and generate a prompt that will instruct Perplexity AI to search the web and gather the top 5 most recent facts or insights or updates related to the main topic of our voice memo. We only want updates or news that is new. So if, for example, you provide 1 or 2 key search terms, such as Elon Musk or SpaceX, to find the most up-to-date news. The prompt you should create should adhere to the following guidelines. Clearly state the main topic of the voice memo based on your analysis of the transcript. We're going to instruct Perplexity AI. We're going to specify that Perplexity AI should provide 5 top 5 facts, insights, etc. And then use clear and concise language. And at the bottom, you must only include the output. Do not provide a summary or explanation. None of that's needed. You'll produce a command Perplexity. Here is the voice memo transcript. So what do? We're going to copy all this. I'll put a link down below for this as well in the description if that's helpful for you. We come back over, we come down to message content, we paste it, and then we come down to the bottom, and then we'll just insert the transcript, right? So we're going to come back over, let's find Whisper, and there you go, it's text. And that's perfect. Then we click OK. Nothing's happening, so let's troubleshoot and find out why. Come down, max tokens. Now when you're not using an assistant, you'll see this max tokens field, and it basically just limits how long the interaction will be. So a token, just for your information, 100 tokens is about 75 words. So if you don't think it needs to be too high, then let's just set it low. This prompt, for example, I'm just going to put in 500 tokens. But for things that are shorter, you can use this as a way to throttle down your costs. Then we click OK. Okay, then we're going to click here. We're going to run this module only. And then we give it some tasks like, I don't know, Dogecoin is going to the moon. Okay, right? Click OK, and then what this should do is create a prompt for Perplexity. So we check over, let's see what it said. Let's see what it's asked Perplexity to do as a research. Come down to message, content. Search the web for the top 5 most recent facts, insights, updates on Dogecoin soaring value. Perfect. So what do we need to do next? Well, now we need to feed this to Perplexity AI, don't we? So first of all, let's rename this Perplexity Primer. Now, what comes after Perplexity Primer? You might have guessed it, it's Perplexity. So we come down, Perplexity, there we go, verified, and then we click on this one, okay? And then create a chat completion. Cool, so then what do we say for Perplexity? Let's start off with the model. So let's go for Mixtral 8x7b instruct, and then we need to give it a message. So what's the message gonna be? Well, all the message is gonna be, guys, it's just the output from this model. But then we're gonna add a little bit of something else on top of that, just to give it a little bit and parameterize it a little bit, okay? So the text I want you to add here is, the news must have been released within the last 7 days. Change that threshold as you see fit for your purposes. You must not hallucinate nor embellish the content. If 5 insights do not exist, then only provide those you can. Your job is to present a clearly articulated facts with data if possible. And the reason I say to include that is because if 5 facts don't exist, they need to include it. Think of these agents as like 200 IQ interns. Like they're like that level, like they're very, very good, but you almost need to say, this is a bad example, this is a good example, be really clear about it. And then we tell it that it is a user, and then we select, okay, cool. Well, I think this module is getting to a decent size now, so let's run through the whole thing again. I'm gonna quick audio message. I would like to talk about mining diamonds in Africa. What is happening with mining diamonds in Africa? I think a post on it talking about the value of diamonds would be really cool. So do that, please. I think this technology, by the way, could be dangerous in the wrong hands. You can just imagine like, so let's hit run once. Now, if it's doing the job properly, we should have some interesting facts about diamonds in just a couple of seconds. So Slack is working in the background, it's waiting to pick up the message. And sometimes, guys, with this, like Slack can take a little bit of time just to find it, but that's perfectly normal, and this will be running automatically in the background anyway. Excellent, Slack's found it, download the file, transcription's complete, primer is complete, and then Plex is working in the background. So what are we gonna find out about diamonds? Well, let's check, shall we? Let's go down to choices. Let me bring it over here. I just want to make sure you can see perfectly. Come down to collection, come down to message, content. Let's have a look. According to a report by Mining Technology, the diamond mining industry in Africa is expected to recover from the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. De Beers, world's largest diamond producer, has announced it will invest $14 million. The government of Sierra Leone, and guys, look at this. I mean, isn't this amazing, right? We can take thoughts you have when you're walking on the beach, you're with your wife, your husband, wherever you are, and you just say, hey, I think this would be a cool idea. And we've just washed that with research. Isn't that incredible? I mean, it's as simple as recording a gang now. I mean, honestly, the applications for this whole voice to post system are just insane. So now we've got the idea, we've got the research, we need to find a way to take that and create something that can hopefully go viral for you, okay? So what I want you to do next is come here. So then what you're gonna look for is message and assistant. And the reason that we use an assistant here versus a prompt there is assistants we can use across every automation that we have. They're very easy to plug and play. We set the model and it saves us lots of time. So what assistant are we gonna use? So I'm gonna show you, I'll do Instagram for you. So what we do is we need to use our Instagram agent. So if I come over to my community, for example, let's go to the classroom and grab this agent, okay? So what do we want? We've got LinkedIn, Twitter. Let's have a look. Autonomous Instagram agent, perfect. So we click on this guy, let's come down, and there we go. What do we want? I think we want a long and detailed post, so we click that, and this has got all the information we need to create long captions. So check this out, guys. I won't go and cover this in detail, but just for your benefit, essentially this will work if you feed it an image or text. It basically has all the optimizations there, like 1 to 2 keywords on insights. If you give an article, include a mix of 11 to 30 branded community niche popular hashtags, follow the provided value, satisfy curiosity. It's got a whole framework in there that it uses, taps into FOMO incentives, doesn't make it cringe, got lessons on brand and voice, and just lots of stuff. So what we do is we copy the whole thing, come over the top right, you're gonna hit create, okay, and then you just paste the instructions in and leave it like that. I'd recommend, guys, leave this one as a GPT-4 model. I'm gonna select the 2024 0409 and we pasted it in, and we'll call this one Build Together Diamond Voice. Cool. And then what we're gonna do, obviously, because this is a channel that needs a little bit of, we love our design over here, okay? So we'll add a rocket ship at the end of it. And once you've done that, it is complete. So what happens next? Well, we come back over to the automation. We land on the automation, and then we just select the assistant. So let's come down here, for example, and now we need to include the message. So the message I want you to add in there is this. You will be provided with research and a transcript by a user. Make a highly viral post as per your prompts using the additional research as context/help where you find appropriate. So what we're saying to this, guys, is that, look, if the research isn't valuable or doesn't add fundamentally to what we're trying to do, don't worry about it. Like, just remove it. And then we just provide it with the transcript. Well, where's the transcript? Well, the transcript is provided by Whisper, right? So let's click here. Let's find our wonderful Whisper. It's down there. There's a text. And then the insights, well, that's just the output from Perplexity. So click on choices, click on message, and there you go, content. And that is it. And we click X. And essentially we're complete there. So what do we do? We click OK. And that's all set up. Isn't that really simple? And then what do we need to do next? Well, first of all, let's rename it. And I think we should rename it something befitting, which is viral post, because that's ultimately what we want, right? We want to help you get the best you can based on your own beautiful ideas to make this as simple as possible for you. And now we've got this text, okay? We've had your idea, we've added the research, we've primed it, and we've created now an incredible post for the platform that you want. We now want to look at creating an image. Now, DALL-E 3, which is the latest model we have access to, has a character count. So what we kind of want to do is add another primer in, and this primer is basically going to throttle down the character count to make sure the automation won't fail for you because the prompt is like 1,000,000 words long or something, okay? So we select the model. For this one, you're going to be okay with GPT 3.5 Turbo, and then we come down to add a message. We're just going to select assistant as normal, and the prompt is simply create a prompt for an image generation AI with the below style guidelines and a few keywords from the text. The text is a transcript. Take the prominent focus of the transcript and incorporate one or a few of the elements, maximum 400 characters. And then we say do not include any words, full stop. And then we add our style guidelines. I'm a bit lazy, so I'm gonna go to our DALL-E 3 prompt blueprint to find the kind of image style that I would like. And today, I think I am in the mood for, that's really cool actually, to be fair. I'm in the mood for fantasy. I think fantasy art is cool. So we're gonna copy this one over. We'll come back over to our system. We'll enter the style. We then have got this one here, so we can get rid of that. And also this one has like, do not include words in the image, just to save some time. And then we've got the text. And the text here, guys, is basically just a transcription. So we're gonna come down, find that, click OK, and then we're cool. And then max tokens, because there's a big limit, I can't foresee this needing more than 500 tokens. But again, because we're using GPT 3.5, it's like, you know, it's so insanely cheap. Click OK. And then we need to rename it. I've just renamed them Image Primer for our benefit. And then I think we should roll the whole automation again, right? So let's click run once. nothing's happened. Why has nothing happened? Because there's been no message, right? So let's record a message. Hey there, I think Springer Spaniels are the coolest dogs on the planet. Wouldn't it be amazing if every person in the world owned a Springer Spaniel? Did a little bit of research on Springer Spaniel ownerships, statistics. Yeah, I just think that'd be a cool idea. Okay, if you haven't guessed, guys, I own Springer Spaniels, which is why they often appear in my examples, okay? So look at this, roaring all the way through. Perfect. Come down, let's have a look. The Plex is doing research on Springer Spaniels, probably the most exciting topic that it's found today. Bar a post, it's creating a post for us so we can check out what the quality of that looks like. And then look, we've got the image primer, which is going to be excellent. And then we will just add the image generation afterwards. So let's check in on the post that we've got. Come down to content, +1 text, value. Who else is, guys, look at this, guys. Who else is a Springer Spaniel superfan? Imagine a world with only Springer Spaniels. Wouldn't the world be a cute place if we all owned Springer Spaniel? Currently, the 13th most popular dog in the UK based on 2020. Guys, how amazing is that? Like, I just cannot stress enough how incredible I think this is, because I was just yapping, right? I was just yapping on about Spaniels, and now it's enriched the message with research. And obviously all the viral hooks that sit within the agent that we built for this to make sure it actually, has a chance of getting picked up and looks amazing. And look at the engagement. What would your world that look with? I mean, like, I just think this is insane. It's got emojis, it's got everything we need. We come over here to the image primer. It's giving us a result. So what should we do next? Well, you might have guessed it. We need to create an image, right? So let's zoom out a little bit. We want DALL-E, so we come here to show more. And what we're looking for here, generate an image. The model DALL-E 3, and then we've got the prompt. Well, what's the prompt? The prompt is the output from the image primer, okay? So come down and just put the result in and click OK. So now, guys, we've added our image prompt at the end, and it is looking pretty decent. So what do we need to do now? This is the part where we go over to Airtable. Now, you're gonna absolutely love this, okay? So now with Airtable, I actually exactly how to do this. You actually get 1,000 records completely for free for Airtable, so you don't even need to pay anything just to get started with it. So what do we want to do? Well, we want to create something, right? So come to the bottom left here and hit create and click start from scratch, although they have got different things. We select a workspace. Let's just put it in my first workspace and then start from scratch. Now, brown, you know what, guys? It's not my favorite color. So first of all, let's just get the housekeeping out of the way, okay? Let's make it nice and yellow. Let's call this one's AI Automations by Jack. Okay, cool. And you know what? Let's also give him a little bit of emoji so it's very easy to tell, and we'll give him a diamond. Well, we need a couple of fields, right? So this is what I want you to add in, okay? First one's going to be Instagram post. Single line text. Now, we want it to be long text, and then we click OK. Excellent. And then you're going to right click, insert right. And this one is going to be Instagram photo URL. And then we search for the field type. And the cool thing about this platform, guys, on Airtable is think of it like Sheets, but it, like I say, it's on steroids is the best example because you can specify URLs, you can actually add attachments to this. But for the purpose of this video, I'm making it very, very simple. So we've got Instagram post, Instagram photo URL. Then what do we need? Well, we need our ability to say, I love it, send it off, please. So what does that look like? Right click on it, edit field. So we're going to call this one post. And then what we're looking for, you can type in single. And I want you to pick this one that says single select. And what that essentially means is that it's going to have one of two options, okay? So what will that look like? Well, let's add some options. First one's going to be, let's call it post. Why don't we give that a nice green tick? We love that, right? And since it's green, let's put that on there. And then we're gonna add an option and we'll call this one deny. And then we'll put X. Technically, you don't need the deny option because you can delete it, but I think it just helps visually to underscore how this automation works. There is no default option whatsoever. And then we click save. Now, what needs to happen next? Well, we need to add two fields into this Airtable that will help our second automation to understand when something has happened. And now the only thing you need to do is add two of the fields. So we're going to come here, edit, and all we need to search for, guys, is where's the search function on here? So let's go for, you're going to search for created time. That tells us when something was created. And then finally, guys, we're going to come right click on here, edit field, and this is the most important one, and that's last modified time. And then let's just call this one last modified time at the top, so we know what it is. And obviously, let's just turn this one here into created time. Okay, cool. Now, guys, why is that so important? So last modified time, just so you understand how this works, basically says, hey, whenever any of these rows is changed, okay, you're going to flag that up. So the automation we're going to build next is going to say, hey, we've seen something pop up on row 7, row 77. The last modified time will change. So that's how, even if you had 20 things in here and you change number 7, that will help us understand which of those 20 things has changed. And so now that's complete, we now need just to link it into automation, right? So come here, and what are we looking for here? So then why don't we just find Airtable, show more, and you're looking for create a record in the Airtable. And this is so easy. When you connect yours, you basically come in, click approve. It's very easy to get started. Let's look at the base. Well, the base we want, what did we say it was? Automations by Jack with a diamond. Excellent. The table is going to be table 1, which is superb. When it come down, and look at this, guys. Instagram post, Instagram URL, and then the post. So I want you to ignore the post one. Forget that. Don't ever touch that. Now we want the Instagram post. Well, what is the Instagram post? Well, let's go find our viral post, which is result. Perfect. And then we want the URL, don't we? So let's come down here, data, URL. Superb. And then click OK. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the entire automation right there. So how do it works? Well, I think we're going to have to trial it, okay? So let me do a very quick voice note, and you can see this happening in real time. So let's create a audio clip. How popular are dragons? Specifically, if we had a battle between Lord of the Rings dragons and Game of Thrones dragons, who would be the ultimate dragon to win? We tick post, so that's gone in. Now we're going to run the automation, and we're going to see this happen in real time. It's picked up a Slack message immediately. It's downloaded. We've created an audio generation from Whisper. It's now being primed via Perplexity to do its research. Research is complete. It's now creating a viral post for, in this case, Instagram. Could have been any platform that we like. And by the way, you can tell that I'm not doing this on the fly because I'm like yapping about dragons or whatever. So who knows? The viral post has been made. The image prime has been complete. And now it's generating our image. And then once it's done that, it'll send it over to Airtable. Very interested to see this. Now, if this automation works, when that turns on, which it did, which we love to see, if I click on Airtable, we should see a viral post about dragons and an image. So let's go check it out. I'll load up Airtable and look at this, guys. Ever wondered who'd win an epic dragon showdown? Lord of the Rings Snarg versus Game of Thrones dragon. From Middle-earth to Westeros. Oh my goodness. And then if I just click on this image, for example, I should have a dragon or something. Dragon. In the exact style we requested. And guys, that is the first part of the automation. So we've basically done now a full voice to viral post. So the question then becomes, and the cool thing about, I would also say about this, guys, as well, is that like, you can edit this, right? It's almost like your editor. You just tap a few things and then it goes off. It's perfect. So the next thing we need to do is build an incredibly simple automation, which is this one. And it's only got 2 components. Like, I think you could do this in the time it takes someone to make you a coffee. So let's create a new scenario and do this one again. So we've created a new scenario. This scenario, we're gonna call this Watchers of the Wall, which is a kind of quasi Game of Thrones reference, which I think is appropriate for our dragon thing, okay? So let's just throw a little dragon on there as well for good measure. So what are we adding first? Well, we're gonna add in something to do with Airtable, okay? So click on Airtable and you're looking for watch records. Excellent, all right? And then this loads up a little bit for us. So what do? We click on the base. We click on our new thing, which is AI Automations by Jack. We're gonna scroll down when it lands up there, table 1, excellent. And then you'll see this thing here called trigger field. Now this one's really important. Your trigger field is last modified time, not created time, just for your information. If you picked created time, essentially this is a fixed value, right? So that would send an automation when a new row is added. The reason we want last modified time is, let's just say we had 20 of these, right? And I'm looking at 4, and I say, do you know what, guys? Let's post it. That would pick up that actually it's to do with row 4, not row 24. So it has to be a way of us identifying that something's changed in one of these rows. I just want to show that just for your information when you're building things. So last modified time, we click on label field, and the label we're looking for is post, right? Because that's the bit where we're like approve or not approve. Agreed? So now that's done, and then essentially that's all you need. Then you click OK, and then you're going to add a new module. For the purposes of this one, we're going to go for Instagram, Let's go for Instagram for business. And all you're going to click on here, guys, is create a photo post. If you haven't connected Instagram yet, it's relatively straightforward to do. You just basically follow through and sign in. There's videos for it on the channel. And then we click on photo URL. Now, what's a photo URL? And this is the super cool thing, guys. It pulls it through for us, okay? So look, Instagram photo URL. Awesome. Come down to caption. What's the caption? Well, it's the Instagram post. And that's it. And then we click OK. And the final step is just to add a filter. Well, what does a filter do? The filter says, you shall not pass unless this says post. So if you hit deny, it will know that you've changed something, but it won't post it. So how do we add a filter in? So to add a filter, we click on this. Label, we're going to call it post or deny. And then I want you to click on contains case insensitive post, right? And that's it. And then the condition, what's it going to look for? We're just going to select this one here. Can you see this, guys? Post. Superb. And that's it. And then we click OK. Awesome. So if I run this table once, what happens? Well, it's picked up on the entire article we had. But do you know what? Because nothing's in the post section, nothing's happened. Let's run it again. Nothing's happened. Run it again. Nothing's happened. Run it again. Nothing's happened. Let's go back over to our Airtable. We review it. We think, do you know what? I like it. I like it a lot. This Grammarly's following me around everywhere today, isn't it? And then it's going to say, you know what? Let's post it. Love it. Come back over to our automation. Run it again. It's filtered through. It knows we've said yes. So now it's going to push through and it's starting to post on Instagram for us. Again, this whole thing is just you yapping into your phone. You could be yapping about anything. You don't even have to make sense. I don't even think you need to be able to speak English properly for this to work. And then it's posted. So how do we know it's posted? Well, if I head over to Instagram, and would you believe it? It's appeared. And now we have it. And it's completely done and automated. And just to prove this whole thing, it's completely done and entirely automated. So what we should do again now is do the whole thing from the beginning, just so you can see the whole thing working in action. And we'll do a random topic on this. So let's just go for something interesting like, I don't know, should we do something on cooking a Sunday roast, a traditional English meal, and then we'll see how this all works, okay? I want to find a new and inventive way to talk about English roasts. What would be an inspiring way to do that? Just find some research on some most inventive popular English roasts and maybe just cover some interesting thoughts on that. Oh, and also add some dragons. Add some dragons eating the English roast. Okay, it's done. We've added dragons English roast because I just want to give it a little bit of a challenge, okay? So now we hit run once and it started to work. Now, once I've done this, I'll just quickly show you how to add Google Drive in, just so for your reference. If you prefer to do that by a different channel, it'd be very easy for you to do that. And then the applications is amazing. Now, the other question you might have is, how do I do different, automations for, like, let's say I want one for Instagram, I want one for LinkedIn. My recommendation for you on that, okay, is on your Airtable, you can add different sheets, like different tables. So I'd have one for Instagram, I'd have one for LinkedIn, I'd have one for Facebook, I'd have one for every platform. And then basically you just rinse and repeat the exact same process. I've not included it in the video just because I think it would take like an hour to go through them all and I want to respect your time a little bit. But if you want that video, I can show you that down below, no problem. So this says the Airtable record is complete. Let's click over here. And do we see it, guys? I think we do, don't we, right? So we click on, let's have a look at this. And it's done it. Amazing. And do we have actually, let's have a quick read of it. Everyone knew it's free start of a fairy tale. Everyone knew what a dragon would eat and a fancy banquet. Imagine this. Huge fire roasted platters of English finest meats surrounded by golden roast potatoes. You know, this is just pure imagination, isn't it? Let it up. What do we have? Oh my goodness. Look at this, guys. That is absolutely gorgeous. And we've got like a mystical dragon with a floating fork and he's eating like traditional English food. We've got an international group on this channel. So this is also an educational experience for your cuisine, isn't it? So, you know, that's still part of the game here. We click that. Now, let's make sure this works perfectly. So let's go back over here. Let's run it once. Nothing's happening, right? Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. Go back over to Airtable. Let's look at it. Let's just say, do you know what, guys? I don't like it. Deny. Go back over here. Let's run it once. Nothing's happening. Why is nothing happening? Because we said deny. So then we come back over here and we said, you know what? I changed my mind. I actually quite like it. Then we come back over to this automation, hit run once, and it's picked up on the approval. And then it's going over again. And I will also say, guys, how Airtable's amazing here is I can delete these. If I delete these, it makes no difference whatsoever. It will all auto-populate and there's no hassle about it. So if you want to share this with your friends or whatever, you can do that super, super easily. Let's go back over now to the page and we should at some point see our dragon pop up. I'll just delete this old one. People are probably wondering what's going on with these dragons on their feeds, to be fair. Cool, come back to home. Okay, let's load it up. And there we go. All loaded up and done perfectly. And that's it, guys. So if you followed that all the way through, a huge congratulations. You are in the 1% of the 1% of the 1%. So few people even know how this stuff exists, let alone know how to create it. So a massive congratulations to you for sitting through and learning this really cool thing. Now guys, I'm going to show you quickly how the Google Drive thing works. It's basically the same. It's the same thing. All we're changing is the trigger. So what you would do, right? Let's say you've got an iPhone, for example. There's like a million ways that we could do this, okay? So what you do is you pull up voice memos on iPhone, okay? And you should get something that looks like this. You basically record it. So you would be like, yo, 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 what's up? Boxing, MMA, and jiu-jitsu, we love MMA, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Then on the phone, all you do in your voice recording, guys, is you'll see here, I don't know where you can see it, but essentially what you do is you click these dots and then you just share. And essentially when you click on share, you can find in that option list Google Drive. So you'd need to download the Google Drive to your phone. Then this would upload the file. And the way to set this up is just Google Drive, watch all files. And then you would add a download option, enter file manually, file ID, and essentially what that says is that, hey, when you picked up, basically when you've uploaded an audio file to Google Drive, I want you to go and grab that. And you select file ID, and the rest of the automation is exactly the same. Now, for the next video, I've got a really interesting one coming up. But if this automation you think would be cool to do with images, we can do that video as well. So let me know down below what you'd like to see automated next. But in any case, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time.